period, isn't it? It is a time of great turbulence and uncertainty on an international scale. So, I'm talking about a time of transition, but I'm adding a transition from who knows where to who knows what, right? How can it be that there is a sector that still does not perceive what is happening or the model to follow? And why don't they know? When I say that neither neoliberalism nor social democracy can provide answers for this world, which is the world of the past, there are winners and losers in this new world. And there are those of us who are interpreting it and those who are not, including social democracy, which does not interpret it. They don't understand Putin. They don't understand Trump. They don't understand the Pope because the truth is that the country project we propose and debate has to be inscribed within an international situation. If we don't know what it is, where it's going, or what's happening internationally, it's very difficult to say, I want to do this. A transition from who knows where to who knows what, right? Yesterday, Trump broke with and changed the course of American economic policy. That has been true for the last few decades, and with yesterday's announcement, Trump declared that almost all imported products in the United States will have an import tax, a tariff, a duty. It is a novelty and a very strong change in the conditions of world trade. The United States declared the end of free trade, the end of the free market. What is the objective? Explicit. Pay close attention. Reindustrialize the United States. Create jobs in the United States. This new president, or old new president of the United States, is doing something that has never been done in recent times. First of all, this goes against what I would say. Help me, Carl Augusto. 70, 80, 180, Silv, 80, 90, 100% of the economic theory and economic policy that is taught in all the universities of the world about what to do in a country against. He just burned all the libraries, manuals, books, and several Nobel Prizes. Conventional thought, economic thought almost unanimously says that what Trump did yesterday is a sin, a heresy, and a disaster. You have to look very deep somewhere or very far back in time to find who defends these kinds of policies, and with what theory. He explains why Kicillof was against the policies we implemented during the 1 decade. Kicillof did not agree with the Peronist government. He just said it in the Argentine theater. Trump undermines economic knowledge. He destroyed all the books. He just said that. That profound thought of Kicillof was also the one who had the 1 decade, and that's why he opposed the 1 decade, because the 1 decade based its economy on what Trump is now doing. We were not the past, we were the future. If we hadn't wasted 12 years since the Kicillof devaluation of 1914, because you have to count all of 1914, Argentina would be in a different place now. This is also Christina's responsibility, who gave Capitanica Kicillof the right to do the outrageous things they did, and all the others who came after. Kicillof is not a Peronist, and he is demonstrating this in the scheme he just mentioned, where he repudiates the 1 decade, because the 1 decade, in economic terms, was the administration of trade, first domestic and then foreign. We were ahead, not behind. We knew the world was heading towards nationalism, that we had to defend jobs, that we had to defend industry, That if we had to argue with the world, we were going to argue with the world. Kicillof had another thought, which is the one he just said. Therefore, just as there was no possible synthesis between Moreno and Kicillof, there is also no synthesis between Kicillof's economic thought and Peronist economic thought. And we just proved it on this program. When he bastardizes Trump for the decisions he made, he is bastardizing the decade of progress. And he just explained it. So, Trump is more Peronist than Kicillof, and always has been. Trump is half Peronist. It's not all Peronist because it still has walls like this one. It still lacks that bridge between the people, but it's much more than Kicillof. Notice that Kicillof states the entire theory, and everyone rejects it. He doesn't even acknowledge that the 1 decade is the precedent for Trump. Because at least I could say, well, look, these beasts did it, but they did it. No, he doesn't even remember what the 1 decade was like. It's outrageous. This guy, the truth is that he condemned all the thinking of Peronism in economic terms. He has just been convicted. That's a beast of a thing to say. This kid Alvarez Agi, who just yesterday said that globalization was over. This is something we were discussing 12 years ago. When he was Deputy Minister of Economy, he was in favor of globalization. Christina too, look, she said that they had set me up and torn Argentina to pieces. If there's one thing that commemorates the lost decade, it's Trump, who's implementing the same policies I used to, especially against social democracy. Of course, he's going to destroy industry.